Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to this live stream. I hope everyone is really doing well. It's 6th of January 2023, and I hope I'm clear and I'm audible, loud and clear, guys. First of all, before we start with the technical analysis of BTC and ALS and maybe some other other charts. Some news are coming out regarding DCG that they are shutting down their wealth management division, and also some news are coming out that most likely Genesis is going to file a bankruptcy and they have fired a lot of employees. I don't know how much true this news is, but yeah, I mean, this is what it is. What's going to happen in the few days is something to watch about it, and that's the reason I was just looking for shorts, as I mentioned yesterday as well. I'm just looking for shorts. Our plan is perfect, just that we need to figure it out where exactly we want to take profits, either 15.8 or it's gonna be 13.8. so these are the only two options we have for shorts, for take profits actually. Now before we go down to BTC and ETH and other charts, I mean, we had a good session in Discord yesterday, live stream on Walsh Wealth group. I know many of you guys were there, but if you were not there, do join Walsh Wealth group, guys. Link is mentioned. And also, if you like to support my work, do trade on Bybit. Every link is mentioned here to join, deposit the funds and trade. Thank you. Now before we go down to BTC and other chart, I just want to take you to the TRX chart, and it looks really nice. This descending triangle looks amazing to me actually, and this looks really great. I mean, if this looks like a descending triangle, is any point of time the next dip inside the range lows, whatever the next dip would be, it's gonna be breakdown clearly, because that's gonna be a fourth step. I would say fifth tap, because we already had the first tap here, second tap, third tap, and fourth tap. And now this time it would be like a clean breakdown, and you can expect the big demand that we have here around 0.025 to 0.03. That's gonna be hit, and even we can take the liquidity here around 0.02369. So practically, I mean, once we start losing the range lows, that is going to be the clean short for TRX, and we can literally go short on TRX, and we can ride it for 40-45% move on the downside. That's what I believe. And if you look at from the price action perspective, the descending triangle looks very similar to what we had on BTC, guys. I posted in my corner as well, like 1 or 2 hours before. And if you look at the BTC chart to 2018, it had a similar sort of price action. We had a big dump and then an accumulation zone forming a descending triangle. Once it breaks down, and you get small accumulation, that is where we start shorting it, at least for 40% move on the downside. And that's exactly where we had a good risk reward for the shorts. So I'm just waiting for that opportunity to come, ladies and gentlemen. And yeah, that looks really great from the perspective of TRX, guys. That's what I have for TRX. And so now let's move on to the BTC chart, for a lower term time frame. This is the high term time frame chart for the BTC. I mentioned yesterday, and I was doing some brainstorming, because total looks very different to me. What I personally feel is that the way BTC looks like, you clearly have a structure where you got like 1 2 3 4 5, and you got like A, B, and C. So that can be the top for the wave 2. I mean, this is the top, and we reject these levels and we start dumping back down. But the problem, what I see, is if we don't lose these levels of 15,790, we can literally reverse from these levels and go towards the levels of 19,900, and giving it a bigger wave 2 for BTC. So that is going to be A, B, C, B, 1 2 3 4 and 5. So that's how I think the market can literally give a big ABC for a diagonal on the downside. That's the only logical count that I have on the downside if we are talking about. Now the more bearish count that we have here is, if we don't hold the levels of 15,790 and we lose the levels, start sweeping it, any bounce, short it, and it's gonna go down towards 13,800 or so, and that's how it's gonna play, because then it would mean that this is wave 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and that is going to be a very interesting 5 waves on the downside. So you have two scenarios, guys. You know, whether we bounce from 15,789 or we lose that levels and we go straight towards 13,800. The plan for now is I'm holding my longs. I'm expecting a probable retest around 16,580, and from there I'm expecting a push towards 17,600 and maybe even 17,800 as well, because that's exactly where the 76 fibs is at. And maybe we are going to form a very interesting, you know, harmonic pattern if we are literally going to pump up there. This is the harmonic probably I'm eyeing for it to form, and we can get a very interesting bullish harmonic on the lower term time frame as well. But this is daily, of course. So that is going to be the HTF harmonic we are talking about, and that harmonic target would be somewhere around $19,400 to $19,700. Flipping 19,700 would mean a bigger push towards, you know, 23,000 and maybe even to $28,000. So practically it's gonna be, you know, level to level play, and we just have to see how we react at 15,079. Now before we go down and check that whether we go to 1579 and reverse and reject, we also need to look at the Ethereum chart. Why? Because this is my plan for ETH. We want to see Ethereum dumping you know, to $1,103 along with BTC dumping towards 15,789. Let's say if BTC has already dumped towards 15,789 and Ethereum is not even close to reaching 1103, which means it's above 1154, then meaning that BTC is gonna sweep the lows and it's just gonna go way too deeper than we thought. However, if Ethereum and BTC go straight to those levels, 886 fips together, then we are longing ETH and BTC, and especially you should be longing ALTs, because ALTs are going to pump a lot and outperform BTC. And the major reason is because BTC dominance is forming 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. So that 5 waves are going to end, and after that you're going to see a correction like this for some sort of a wave 2 and then an upside move towards wave 3. So that is going to be a very interesting opportunity for us, ladies and gentlemen, and hence the dips would be for buying ALTs, and in my opinion that's what I believe, and that's what the chart tells me as well. Looking to the total, guys, this is the plan that I have for the total as well. I've discussed the only issue I have right now is, as I mentioned, and that is something even I don't know whether we should be closing our shorts here or we should be riding our shorts till 13,800. That all depends on how and ETH is going to retrace to 1103 levels. If ETH reaches those levels along with BTC reaching to 15,789, meaning the long everything, and we are going to pump it for 20-25% move on the upside. Because just imagine, right now what we are looking for is a pump from these levels would to minimum of 19,200 and 19,800 would give you 20-25% move. You don't want to miss that 25% move on the upside, and that can be a very interesting short opportunity as well, if this is wave 2, because we are yet to test the golden pocket zone, guys. So that's why I think we need to see a retest of this golden pocket zone before we just dump, and for that we need to hold this level 1579. Now let's move on to the lower term time frame that we have on the 1 hour and M15. I think right now what I'm seeing is this harmonic is looking good. The bearish Gartley looks amazing, and I also explained to you yesterday that why I believe that this looks very reasonable to play out, because of the golden pocket zone and the June lows that we have here. Also, the structure that we have here is clean 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. You already have 5 waves. We are doing most likely wave A, B and C. So we're going to sweep the lows of 16,600, probably going towards the 2023 open of 16,500. That's exactly where we are going, and can even go to 16,492 and bounce back, reclaim it, and starts pumping up again towards 17,600. Come back down and pump. That's what we want to see for the BTC. For ETH, a similar plan is in place for ETH, but the only problem with the ETH on the lower term time frame is that we are already reached very close to our short zone, and hence it makes me a little bit skeptical about my BTC plan. That Ethereum has already, this is my short zone for ETH, 1310 to 1330 is where I'm eyeing short for ETH, ladies and gentlemen. So if this move, what we are watching on it is 1 2 1 2 3 ABC 4 retest of 1 2 3 2 levels, and one more push up for the wave 5. So that is going to be 1 2 3 ABC 4 and a push up for the wave 5, meaning that BTC and ETH will have a similar sort of a dump. And most likely, in my opinion, if BTC do give us the move on the downside, let's say it gives us 1 to 1.5% move on the downside, from there we should be expecting a pump for BTC for 6 to 8%, versus what we are anticipating for ETH is a dump over here for another 1 to 1.2%. And from those levels, we can expect a pump for 5 to 6% towards 1310, which perfectly fits with 1:1 extension for BTC and Ethereum. And hence, this plan makes more sense to me and looks very, very viable. So we are still expecting another 1 to 1.5% of a dip. That would be for longing, and that dip should be to long for 6.5% of a move, 5.5 to 6.2% move for BTC, Ethereum, and overall market that we have, and that is going to give us a very interesting short opportunity. The invalidation level for Ethereum is 1340 in my opinion, and for BTC it would be 18,266. That's the invalidation levels for both. Talking about Solana, I am expecting it to sweep the highs of 14.9, take the liquidity, and then dump towards 9.4. That is going to be the good short. Any deviation above is a short for 36% move on the downside. RLC, I'm expecting it to go towards 0.865. That should give us a very interesting long opportunity for RLC. So practically another 24 to 25% move on the downside, and then we can have a push long from 84 cents, 86.5 for 140% move on RLC for $2.04. It can even pump. It can even break above this channel and go more as well, but minimum 140% is what I'm eyeing for RLC. DYDX, I'm looking for a small range up here. I'm looking for a sweep towards 1.285 and then move down to sweep the lows. Once you sweep the lows, then we're gonna reclaim it, the range lows, and then we can long there to ride towards equilibrium. AVEX, we have already reached my buy zone. Honestly, this is the OB and the breaker that we have here that we discussed yesterday as well. Now this OB and the breaker is very, very crucial for us to hold. What we want to see is, we don't want to see the 4-hour closing under 11.6. You don't want to see that. Once you see that with the 4-hour closing at 11.6, then it would mean that we're just going to see dump towards a bigger OB that we have here, or the demand that we have here on AVEX somewhere around this zone. But this is how I see that we need one more push up for the AVEX. Why? Because this is wave 1, 2, 3, and this is wave 4, whatever we are doing, and one more push is there for a bigger demand that we have here, and from there it's going to be big short for AVEX towards somewhere around 10.89. Similarly for Zilliqa, I am eyeing a very interesting move on ZIL, guys. Any dip on ZIL towards 0.0154 is a very interesting buy the dip, because it looks amazing. Already reached almost close to 186 fibs, and I'm expecting a push up for 35 to 40% move from there. The invalidation levels are very tight. 1488 is your invalidation. TRX, we discussed. Algo, I'm expecting a push up towards above the white line, so as to give us Very interesting short opportunity. This harmonic looks great, and then this is going to be the buy opportunity for 16 cents, 16 to 16.7 cents for longs, to right towards 22 cents. The invalidation levels are here. 15.9 is your invalidation. RSR, it's still looking that great. We have book profits for 10%, guys, and what I feel is that RSR is also going to do something like a retest is going to happen. That's where I'm gonna rebuy RSR, and from there I'm looking to push up towards 380, these levels. So that's where we are eyeing for RSR. Matic, I'm looking for this scenario on the Matic formation of a very interesting descending triangle. So retest of 75.5, hold that level and a push towards 83-84 cents, reject there and then dump towards the levels of 43 cents. It makes more sense to me, and that is my plan for Matic. That's all what I have. I have discussed all my plans for the ULs and everything over here. For more detailed analysis on ULs and for ULs and as well as we're going to see do it on Discord live stream. Maybe I'm just going to do it in the London session. That's 2 hours from now, and then we can look for some scalps for long or shorts on BTC as well. Thank you so much for joining, guys. You have any queries to ask, don't hesitate to ask me on the Twitter. You can ask me whatever you want on Twitter. Just tweet it, tag me, and I'll try to respond as much as I can. Also, please support by trading on Bybit. Thank you so much. Have a nice day.